Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Hope you all are good. And today's video is very interesting because in this video I'll share some interesting aspects on refactoring, and also I'll share some useful tips about refactoring that can help you. And also I think this will be useful for you as well. So let's see some real world scenario. Like let's say today's Friday and it's 4:55 p.m. and you are suddenly just think, okay, just do a quick refactor before the weekend. And then what happened actually? It's like the production is down and 500 euros spiking and your manager or CEO is calling. So and then what happened actually? Then actually it's 3 hours to fix that issues and your weekend eventually get ruined. So the real cost of bad refactors actually 70% of times like the big rewrites actually failed, and the average time to fix production incident is uh, kind of 4 hour 20 minutes, and $0 cost if you do it right. So let me show you six strategies to refactor safely so that you can avoid this kind of unwanted situations. So strategy one, Strangler Fig. So what is it? Let's say if you are willing to do a big bang rewrite, like let's rewrite everything, and 6 months later still it's not done. So what you can do, you can follow a Strangler Fig pattern, which is actually replace one piece at a time, and you can ship quickly, and it eventually came up with a like zero downtime. So and how it works actually, like let's say you can uh, gradually push the new refactored code, like you can just refactor like slash users, and you can refactor slash orders. So you can refactor like piece by piece and just ship it to production, so it will minimize the risk. Well, and the second strategy is feature flags. So this is also very important. Like you don't know that your refactoring might break the production or not, and if it breaks the productions, and like you should have a backup plan, right? And if you are thinking that okay, if something is happened, then I will revert the code and that committed code, and I will deploy again. So those actually will take some time, right? And if I consider that if it takes 10 minutes or 20 minutes, this can impact the business. So what you can do, without redeploy or revert the commit, you can just introduce a feature flag, and you can just flip the flag if something is wrong. So you don't need to you don't need to redeploy actually, because the previous working code was there, and you can just do an instant rollback. So this is really helpful to have a feature flag for refactoring. And the strategy the number three is like you should have a small peers for refactoring. Like if you have a monster peer, like it actually happened when you actually refactored everything, and you see like 2000 plus file changes, 1000 and around 2000 line removed, and 47 file changes, and sometimes it actually more than 100 files changed. So like reviewers will lose the interest to review your code, and eventually it can like break, and it can introduce a serious bug in production after deploying those changes. So what you can do, you can just instead of raise a monster peer, you can just raise an atomic peers. I mean, you can just, let's say on peer one, you can extract the service. On peer two, you can add test. Peer three, migrate what. So So you can just do it step by step, not everything at a time. And then if it breaks, just revert one small pair and not 47 files. And this will also, like, reviewer also uh, can focus on that small changes. Well, and the strategy number 4 is like, you need to test before you touch. I mean, don't just jump into the refactoring, like, uh, just before jump into the refactoring, just take a breath and just test the existing code, like how it behaves. Because after perform the refactoring, you need to test that the existing behavior doesn't break. So you need to ensure that. And how you can ensure that? You need to test it, right? You need to test it before you touch. So this is really important. So without test, what it happens? Okay, you can just like refactoring the code, and you think it is still, you think it will work, but it might not work. So just to be sure, you need to test it before, like, when the test pass, then please deploy it in production. Well, and the last, not the last, like, the another interesting strategy is like the parallel running. So you need to run both, and like the old changes and the new changes, like the old code and the new code, and you need to compare the difference. Like if your refactoring doesn't add any values, then it actually, like, it actually not meaningful to do it, right? So you need to compare the changes, like how the refactoring will benefit, and how and who is value actually this refactoring at. So you need to compare the difference. So for this, you need to run parallelly both the old code and the new code. Well, and the last thing is to have a rollback plan. Because let's say your test passed and you are 100% sure that okay, this will work, or this should work. But still, like, in production environment is different. Like there are lots of users in production, so you should have a rollback plan if something happens. So before any refactor, you need to answer those following questions, like how do I revert in 5 minutes? So 5 minutes is, I think, considerable. Like if something happened, and also what metrics show it's broken. Like that's also you need to think about. And is there a feature flag? And who do I call at 3 a.m.? Like it's a vote time, so you need to consider all those four aspects before like deploying your changes. So if you don't have any rollback plan, then please don't deploy, and please don't give a deploy permissions for this refactoring. So the checklist you should have before the refactoring: test return for current behavior, scope is small and clear, and rollback plan documented. Like you should have the proper rollback plan. Then during refactoring, you should raise in a small peer at a time, not a big peer. And also the feature flags for risky parts, you should have a feature flag, and also the test pass after each change. So before you have that, like before your changes, you should have the test, and also during the change, you should, like, the test should be passed. And after completing the refactoring, you need to monitor error rates, watch key metrics, and ready to roll back. Now, if it breaks, first you need to roll back, and you can debug, but you need to debug it later. First of all, you need to roll back it, because it hampers the real time, like it hampers real time users. So you need to roll back it first and make it works. Then you can debug, because debug can takes more time. And so you need to make sure that production is up and running within a very few minutes. So communicate immediately. So, and also blameless postmortem, and please don't blame anyone with this refactoring things. Well, and let's recap what we covered. Like, you need to follow Strangler Fig pattern. You should have feature flag. You need to raise small pairs, and you need to test first, and you need to parallel run, and you should have a rollback plan, and refactor with confidence, not fear. And this is also important. Well, so I think you are now set to do some refactoring in your code base. So you need to follow strategy over speed and safety over shortcut. So this is really important. So what's your worst prod incident? You can just share with me in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe this channel. So stay tuned and good luck.